How's it going, everybody? I've got something a little bit different today. I've always wanted to make a anime recommendations video of all the animes I've watched, so I can sort of show you guys which ones I've watched, which ones I'd recommend, and then you guys can just go through a video, just pick out one of the names, see what I thought of it, and then you can watch it yourself and give me your feedback. So what most normal people do is they go on this website, My Anime List, they put all of their favourite animes they've watched on there, give them a rating, and then you guys can just go to that and you can check it out yourself. Much easier, much simpler. I'm not simple and easy. I have a book instead that I've written all my animes in. I've been doing it for a very long time. Turns out I have 207 animes written in here. Each one of them are rated from 0 to 10. I also have little, if they're coloured in, that means I highly recommend them. Sometimes I'll give them extra points because of nostalgia, and I've noted that I might be a bit biased because of nostalgia. If I put a little S next to them, it means it was sad and it emotionally affected me, so it normally gets an extra grade. Because I think one of the best things about anime is you can enjoy a series, but if you get emotionally invested in it, then I think it's really worked and it's done what it's meant to. Even if it was a bad series, if it's made you feel something, like 90% of the show could have been bad, but if one episode gets you, then I think it's worth recommending. And some have got 10 out of 10s, and I've got some good dubs in here as well. But yeah, I thought what we'll do is we'll go through all 207 of these animes. Well, maybe not all of them, but maybe all of them. This is going to be quite a long video. It's going to be quite relaxed. If anybody wants to do timestamps in the description below, maybe I'll do one in the future. We'll see. Maybe I should set up a My Anime List in the future, but we'll see about that as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through this book. I'm going to say the title of the anime. I'm going to tell you how highly I'd recommend it. Some of these have been in here for quite a while. I might forget what the name is to the series, so I might have to refresh my memory a little bit. So I'm going to read now all of my 10 out of 10s in order that I watched them, starting from the very beginning. Keep in mind, they got a 10 out of 10 at the time of me watching them. Maybe if I watched them now, I might have felt a little bit differently, but that doesn't matter. First one's going to be a bit controversial, of course, but it's Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z has a big fat N next to it as well for nostalgia, and a D for I like the dub. Dragon Ball Z was my childhood. It means a lot to me. Obviously, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10 for nostalgia. It was my very first introduction to anime as well, along with Pokemon, Digimon, Medabots, which are all on here. Dragon Ball Z, Medabots, Shaman King, Beyblade, etc. They're all on there. If you haven't watched it, I'd say go out and watch it. But it might not be for everyone, and if you're going to watch it, maybe watch one of the Kai versions now, because it can drag. But that was my childhood, and that is a nostalgia 10 out of 10 right there. Next, we have Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo was really good. I think this is a fantastic dub. It's very rare that I'm going to recommend dubs on this list, but Samurai Champloo is one that I would highly recommend. If you're an English speaker, watch it in the dub, because the voice acting in that is fantastic. I'm not going to give any plot synopsises of the series that I've watched. If you want to look at them, I've given you the title. Just go do a little read about it. If you like the sound of it, then go watch it. Know that I've watched it and I've liked it, so keep that in mind. Next up, 10 out of 10, is, for me, Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, this was the first online anime series. This is when I first started getting into watching animes just, like, all the time. And Full Metal Alchemist, the 2005 version, the first version, I gave that a 10 out of 10 anyway. I thought it was amazing. And then Brotherhood came out, I watched that, and I still enjoyed that just as much. I would recommend both. People always love Brotherhood a lot more now, but I gave that a 10 out of 10, and that is another one where I'd highly recommend the dub for that one. The dub is fantastic. Give it a go. Next up, Fate Zero, and by extension, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and I think some of the movies that are coming out now. Fate, what I like most about it is it's an absolutely beautiful thing to watch. If you ever want to show someone the potential of what anime can look like, Fate is amazing. It's made by Ufotable, I think. They get the joke of, like, Unlimited Budget Works or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it's a great-looking show with a really cool premise and some really cool characters. Saber, one of the main heroes that are summoned, is one of the most iconic characters, I would say, in anime. Along with several others, of course, like Edward Elric, Goku, and everything. But I really like this series, and it was one of the big budget shows I watched. So I watched that, and then I watched Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and I recommend that as well. I wouldn't go back and watch the original version. The original version is bad quality and some bad dubbing in that. But if you want to check it out, I guess you can. Next up with the 10 out of 10 is Attack on Titan. Now, not everyone will agree with that one, and I can understand why, but at the time when I watched Attack on Titan, I thought it was amazing. There's several scenes from that show that I used to just rewatch. Just rewatch it for the sake of watching it. It was, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's where Mikasa is in the alleyway and the Titan comes and another Titan comes. That whole scene with the music, the visuals, I think it's amazing. I think they do music really well in Attack on Titan. The opening music is really good. If you haven't watched it, I don't know how you haven't watched it yet. It's so good. I think the second season is okay. However, the most recent season, especially the part 2, I think has been amazing as well. So I'd highly recommend Attack on Titan. It's another one of my 10 out of 10s. This was a fun show I watched. It's called BACCANO. It's all set on a train called the Pussyfoot. And I don't want to spoil too much about the show, but there is a little bit of a supernatural element, only ever so slightly to do with it. But it's mainly like a train heist kind of environment kind of thing. But I give that a 10 out of 10, and it's another one that I would highly recommend the dub for. The dub for that is really good. There's a guy and a girl duo character, which are big standouts of it as well. But I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really good. It's not too long as well. So BACCANO was really good. Controversial pick up this next one, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know it's not an anime, but it's inspired by anime-styled animation, and it is a 10 out of 10. This is one that I think is one of the greatest things I have ever watched. It's an amazing story with character development all the way through. There is only a dub available for this one. There might be some Japanese versions, but it's originally shot in American voices. But Avatar: Airbender was really good. Avatar: The Legend of Korra, so-so. Had its ups, had its downs. I think it had some problems with production. But this is one for nostalgia, but I'd still give it a 10 out of 10. Regardless. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Steins Gate. Steins Gate is to do with time travel. It's really good. It's really thought-provoking. Watch Steins Gate. Basically, anything that has time travel that I talk about today or in any medium is one of my favourite things. I really like time travel films. I love the exploration of that kind of medium. And Steins Gate is a really good look at that. It looks at, like, I guess, parallel universes as well and things. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but yeah, Steins Gate I highly recommend. Speaking of time travel, similar, Future Diary or something Mirai. Future Diary is about a bunch of people that come together that have to kill each other